You know, ever since this time change, it feels like we've gone back at least 100 episodes or so.
Something like that.
I mean, it's weird. Everything just gets darker all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Like the second half of the second movie of a trilogy.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it just all goes darking
Super dark.
down
Mm-hmm.
to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, here we are, bathed in the light of a... What would you call that? Fluorescent? I call that a fluorescent light. No, not fluorescent.
That's a
It's a thank you light.
classic ass light.
It's a classic. I mean,
One
it's
of
a
the curly
spot.
Q guys.
The
I
spotlight.
don't know what the names of those things are.
Halogen? Is it either halogen or
Well,
fluorescent?
halogen's the other one. I don't know what these ones are called. God.
Eco-friendly.
What's wrong with DJ Khaled's face?
Is DJ Khaled decided to do that. Alright, well, congratulations. You made it. I assume we done the count correctly. Right?
The count. Probably. Cam Newton out for season.
Oh yeah, no, that was already, yeah, we already knew that.
I didn't know that.
Ever since
funny.
he had his ankle problem, he should have been out for the whole season. But he decided to play on it and screw everyone at fantasy over because he was supposed to be good.
Oops.
And yeah, I can't deal with any Cam Newton right now.
Damn Cootin.
Damn
Tootin.
Damn Tootin, damn Cootin, Spam Tootin. Alright, my love for the Carolina Panthers extend to and up to, but not exceeding, CMC.
Uh-huh.
Oh, who's also another one.
Uh-huh.
CMC, run CMC.
Run CMC.
Yeah,
It's good.
that's Christian McCaffrey. Run CMC. What's his first name? Christian. Yeah, It's Christian McCaffrey. CMC. Yeah.
Okay, let's get the show on the roll.
Okay, let's start recording.
Let's start. And by
Uh,
start, I mean continue this wonderful journey that has been the Media Boat Podcast, as today marks a special episode for us.
it is a special occasion that
Yes.
has been some time in the making.
Yeah.
A pregnancy
Oh,
of...
well, hold on.
Oh, sorry, let me finish my statements.
Wait, okay.
A pregnancy of
Worried.
joyfulness.
Oh, okay. I mean, well,
I am pregnant with episodes.
gross.
Fulfilled with episodes.
What's going on?
What trimester are you in?
I believe this is the 65th trimester.
That's too many. That baby should have already come out.
I mean,
That's not how that works.
yeah. Well, it's 200 divided by 3 is
Okay.
60. 68.
What we're getting at is that today is the 200th episode of this fine podcast here.
Oh, is that accurate? We hit
I
200.
think it's accurate. We've hit 200 regular episodes of the show. Obviously, there's more than that if you include our special episodes we've recorded over the years.
Well, plenty of specials and
by years, I mean years,
Yes.
because as we went over last week, this is year 4.
as we realized last week.
If this thing was college, we'd almost be done. We'd be seniors. Can you believe that?
Can we do it over?
No. It just goes on forever like
So,
this.
so is this us graduating podcast college?
Yeah. Just like vitamin C says.
What do you mean?
Graduation.
Smokey Bear says.
Hi. Yes, let's start this over. This is the Media Boat Podcast. This
I don't want to
episode-
start this over. We're
number
number 200.
200.
I don't want to start back at 1.
Today is November the 6th, 2019.
Unless we're Boys to Men. No, we're Brian McKnight.
We're Brian McKnight.
Because we started back
Okay,
at
one.
1.
No, we're not doing that. This is a podcast, if you're not familiar. The Media Boat Podcast is a podcast about movies, television, video games, and music. Not necessarily in that order.
Just sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
just sure.
but in some order. I am Matt, and with me here is Mike.
I am Mike. He is Matt. We are the Media Boat Podcast.
Yeah.
And we're here to bring you news and
Drop
stuff.
some knowledge on
and
ya.
we've been doing this for 200 episodes, so
We have a formula.
we have a formula. We have some bits that we always throw in here. Although I don't think
We don't have the bits today.
We don't have bits this week. Although it
We
would
should
have
have.
been a good time
We
to
should
have
have.
some
I tried
bits.
to, but there wasn't enough news this week. Kind of a slow week. This is kind of the doldrums between holidays. Like we had Halloween festivities last week. We have Veterans Day coming up on Monday, which I do not have off.
Well, it is
because
a Monday.
God forbid I get a day off.
Most people don't have a Monday off.
And then, of course, the big Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays to come. So yeah, we're in that like weird valley where everybody's just kind of contemplating the anticipation for the holidays. But
Yeah, I guess you have to
quite
count
ready.
national holidays for people because
Yeah.
some people
some people do.
can't take a week's vacation off for
No
reasons. Raisins.
for delicious reasons.
Delicious,
chocolate
delicious.
covered caramels.
Chocolate covered reasons.
All right. Well, which means we should probably just get the show started.
I
Why
believe
not?
we have started. But yes, let's get right into the news.
We always start
Yes.
the Media Boat Podcast with movies, and we always start the movies section with a weekend box office numbers. And let me tell you, it is reassuring to get one right for once.
I mean, we've gotten them right before in the past.
Yeah, but not recently. We've been on kind of a lousy streak. The
Well,
summer
whose
especially
fault
was
is
really bad on
that?
us.
That is the Joker's fault.
Is the
That
Joker's
is the
fault,
studio's
sure.
fault for not marketing these things correctly and throwing Hail Marys in the dead of October. Hail Marys
Hail
are
Marys?
Hail Marys.
There we go.
I mean...
Hail Marys.
Hail Marys
Probably
are
something else.
for Aaron Rodgers on Sundays.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's it.
We called it this one, though. This was an easy one. Because we have a new Terminator movie in our midst. Terminator, Dark Fate is your new number one this week. Making $29 million, which sounds pretty small.
Compared to everything else.
What
But
you would
yes.
think a Terminator movie would do. But you know what? It's okay, because it beat Joker, which is the important part. And it's, fifth week? Fourth week?
Fifth week, maybe?
Joker,
Fourth week?
$13 million, adding to a big pile of money, $299 million domestic.
Yes, that is domestic. I think we noted last week.
That it is the new record holder
is
for
the-
R-rated films
Yeah.
in November.
Yeah.
Or no, in October.
No, of all time.
But also of all time.
Of all time, yes. Terminator.
Yeah.
Dark Fate.
People saw it.
Yeah. And people immediately regretted seeing it, apparently.
I've heard mixed things.
I've
Some
heard...
people really love this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I have not heard those people. Maybe they just speak up louder.
Apparently it's like the
Or
movie
maybe-
version, the movie equivalent to other big releases that are coming out today that have divided the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Death Stranding. We'll
Yeah.
get to that later. You're filling up your other numbers in your top five here. Number 3, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, another $13 million. That's at 85 domestic. Not terrible. Not great though.
It'll cross the 100 domestic, which
It'll
is...
crawl through.
Crawl it, yeah.
Number 4, Harriet, $11 million debut.
I didn't see a whole lot of marketing for it.
And The Addams Family, number 5, another $8 million. $85 million for that one too.
Still technically your number one family film.
Yes.
Even though it's fifth in the box
You ain't
office.
taking the kids to Terminator, let me tell you.
Yeah.
If you're wondering about your other two new releases that we talked about last week,
Yeah, wasn't there another kids release in there somewhere?
yeah, there is. We'll get to that in a sec. But first, number 9, all the way down to number 9 with only $3.5 million, Motherless Brooklyn. Apparently, it probably wasn't full release, right?
It said wide release.
That is wide? Okay. Well, that's
then
disappointing.
again, wide release is anything over 2,500 theaters.
Right. True. And then what
Is it
you were
2,500 or
referencing...
1,500?
I think it was 15.
Might be
Maybe
1,500.
closer to 1,000. I thought it was the 1,000 rule.
Is it,
And then way down, right below it, number 10, Arctic Dogs, the other kids movie that looked real bad. $2.9 million.
Yes, this is Balto on a budget.
That's good. I like that. Budget Balto. Upcoming this weekend, though, if you want to see some possibly better movies.
All right, what is
We're
a
just talking
possibly
about.
better movie?
Well, we got a bunch. We got something for everybody here. Literally something for everybody. There's
Okay.
so many movies coming out this week.
What is coming out this week?
First up, Midway. Is
Yes.
this one? Okay, I have a question. Don't tell me anything about this until you answer my question.
Okay.
Is this a movie, one, or A, about World War II, or B, about the arcade video game company? Please let it be number 2 and not number 1.
I'm sorry to disappoint your colon,
Ah!
but it is a number 1.
Damn it. I want to watch a movie about Midway. That's what I want to watch. Like, give me NBA Jam. Give me friggin'
California Cruising.
yeah, Cruising USA.
Cruising
Give
USA.
me. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry. What were you saying?
You okay down your nostalgic road?
Yeah.
Midway. It is the World War II biopic based on a true story. Not biopic. Based on a true story,
Okay.
a la Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
the Michael Bay Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah, because everybody wants to know that a movie is like that.
Why, yes, it is high action packed. Just in
Classic movie
time.
that everybody loves, Pearl Harbor.
It gave us Ben Affleck.
It did not. Ben Affleck was a star before Pearl Harbor. Don't give me that. Don't even try. It gave us nothing.
Okay, sure. It
Anyway.
gave you nothing. It gave us Michael Bay.
That movie's 20 years old this year.
Yes, it is.
All right. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, that movie comes out just in time for Veterans Day,
Yes.
which, by the way,
Monday.
is Monday.
Yes.
I think we may have or may not have
We
mentioned
mentioned
that.
that already.
May have mentioned that
We're
already.
repeating ourselves this podcast a lot. It's okay.
We've only done like 200 of these.
Only.
But yeah, no, this is looks like TV actors trying to make the jump to film. Could be interesting. Probably number
it won't be.
one. I don't know. It's Midway. It's like they're starting to run out of battles, World War II battles or something.
Something like that. Did Midway put out? Yeah, Midway put out Mortal Kombat back in the arcade game days.
Like originally?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a Midway game.
okay.
Sorry. Anyway, you also have coming out this week, Better Days.
Yes. Better Days. This is getting a wide release, but this is probably something you won't necessarily see at your local theater,
Okay.
as this is a Chinese movie coming out in the
I
U.S.
see.
Yes. The basic premise of this story, I had to read up on this because, no marketing for it.
Mhm.
But Better Days is about the high school entrance exams in Japan or China. In Japan. In China.
Okay. Wait.
Where all the high school students take these exams to determine if they can go on to university
Uh-huh.
or go to a trade skill.
Yeah.
And this is leading up to that event where one of the students gets so stressed out that she decides to run away and gets caught up into a gang life.
Oh no. Okay, that took a turn.
Yeah.
Is this live action?
Yes.
For some reason, I was imagining anime.
So was I.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Alright.
no. At least the poster
When you
said live
said
action.
Japanese kids in school, I immediately just go to anime for some reason. It's a popular
That
genre.
is very popular
So,
genre.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But, okay. That sounds like something I never want to see. Moving on. Playing with Fire.
Yes. So this is not Dwayne Johnson, but rather
John Cena.
John Cena.
Do-do-do-do.
Ba, ba, da, ba.
Is it really John Cena?
Yes, it's John Cena.
I was right, okay. Yeah. You didn't confirm. I didn't know.
Well, no, because I was going to go with the not Dwayne Johnson's attempt at a family film,
But John Cena's.
but John Cena's attempt
at a
at
family
a family
film.
film.
Oh! Okay, I know what this is now. I've seen ads for this.
Yes, because it all stars Keegan Michael Key.
Right. I was watching some Disney Junior with my niece last night.
As you do.
As I do once a week. And, yes, the ads for this came up. Not Disney Junior, sorry, Nick Jr. And some ads for this came up. And I was like, oh, that's great. John Cena doing the splits. And kids laughing at him. And the song that, like... I associate it with Christmas, but it's not explicitly a Christmas song. But that like do 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 do.
Yes.
That's been in every like stupid when that's your sign when you know there's going a stupid kids holiday comedy.
Yep.
Yeah, it brought this back up. I want to say the oldest movie I can remember to do that was like Jingle All the Way.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so remember when The Rock did the game plan and he had to take care of a kid?
Remember when Vin Diesel did the pacifier?
And had to take care of a kid?
Remember when The Rock did the tooth fairy?
And had to take care of the teeth? Oh, I guess not the kid.
The kid's teeth?
Yeah, the kid's teeth.
But yeah, this is John Cena doing the same.
Yeah, yes, this is John Cena's turn of adult Macho Man taking care of the kid. I'll say there's also a Jackie Chan version of this as well.
Did Jackie Chan do that? I feel like that was the one thing he didn't do, but I could be wrong.
No, I want to say he was... Oh, well, I guess he wasn't a kid, but The Tuxedo.
Oh, The Tuxedo. Yeah, that's a pretty good example of that. Alright, let's move on. That's not the... Believe it or not, those are not the only movies coming out. We're not done.
No, what else is coming out?
The two big releases this weekend.
Oh, there's two bigger releases?
Yeah, the two heaviest marketed ones.
Oh, okay.
Last Christmas. Your first Christmas movie of the Christmas season, and we're not even in December yet.
Nope, but I will probably end up seeing this weekend as, while the ads have been running, I have been constantly been reminded that, hey, I want to see that film, not quoted by me.
Right. Someone near you.
Yes, my doctor
has expressed interest.
Has expressed heavy interest in seeing this film. So we'll probably do a date night to go see this film this weekend.
Go. And then if that does not sound like your speed and you're more of a Stephen King person, Dr. Sleep.
I was going to say, It Chapter 2 already came out.
No, Dr. Sleep, which is my...
Pet Sematary already came out this year.
No, think more... The cinematic sequel, and why I mean cinematic, like sequel to the movie, not the book, The Shining.
The Shining?
Yes, The Shining, as The Simpsons.
Right,
no,
you
The
don't want to
Shining,
get sued.
this is apparently supposed to be a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Right, and not Stephen King's
Not
The
specifically
Shining.
Stephen King's short story, nor his version of The Shining, which I think was a TV movie. But yeah, this is that. So
yes,
maybe it'll be good. I
don't know, but all the ads have heavily lead into the fact that it is the Shining movie,
essentially.
Because when you see on the marquee, Dr. Sleep, doesn't really connect with The Shining.
Yeah.
You may have some apples and oranges going on there.
Dr. Sleep.
Paging Dr. Sleep. You're paging Dr. Sleep. Your box office is bombed.
And that's it for new releases. So what do you think? I think that this is... I don't know if any of these can get number one. Maybe Last Christmas?
Well, like I said, I think I'm going with Midway because it is the Veterans Day film.
If you say so.
But,
I'm going to play it safe here and go with Last Christmas.
But it's not Christmas time yet.
Dr. Sleep. Actually, maybe Dr. Sleep.
You want to go with Dr. Sleep?
Dr. Sleep over Last Christmas. I've got the two being very close in my mind because they're two very different audiences.
Yes, they are.
So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I'll say Dr. Sleep. I'll put my mind.
Okay, enjoy 10th place at the box office while I
10th place. Dramatic much.
While I take my probably second place tier with Midway, because I think the lovey-doveyness that is Last Christmas will be the number one film. Unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, I don't know.
We'll see. Alright, but that will have to wait till next week because that is it for box office, which means...
Oh, so you want to know why I think it's number one?
Why?
The guy was the lead in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, that guy!
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the female lead is Emilia Clarke.
Oh, you might be right.
I might be right.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see you next week. I think it'll be close.
It will be close.
All right. Did you see any movies before we move on to movie news that you would like to talk about right now?
I saw Moana on TV again.
That is not a 2019 release.
No, but
Focus.
I will be talking about Moana later.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right, movie news. Let's
All right.
start, instead of the world of Disney, let's start in the world of Harry Potter. Why don't we?
All right. So, the Wizarding World of Harry
World
Potter.
of Harry Potter. Warner Brothers has greenlit the third Fantastic Beasts movie.
There was going to be a third.
There is going to be a third Fantastic Beasts movie.
Didn't
Get ready.
everyone hate the second
Get
one?
your butt ready, because there's a third one coming. Production will start in spring 2020. It is rumored that Jessica Williams, who was featured only briefly in part 2, will have a bigger role this time around. Her character, Professor Lolly Hicks, being a professor at the American equivalent to Hogwarts. Eddie Redmayne, Jude Law, and Johnny Depp are all set to return. David Yates is returning to directing, and again, the screenplay written by J.K. Rowling herself and Steve Kloves. The first Fantastic Beasts film was set in 1927 in New York City, with the second in Paris. The third film being set in Rio de Janeiro.
This will continue the Wizarding World, expanding on the world part as they go to South America next.
The two films made $1.47 billion together at the global box office, and the third installment set to open November 12th, 2021. So a little over a year.
2 years. 2021.
A little over 2 years from now.
A little over 2 years, which means they'll get a year in
Break.
production while they do a year in post-production. Because those things are heavily post-production.
A Harry Potter break, because I can't imagine there being anything Harry Potter next year. So.
Yeah. Oh, there was no Harry Potter this year either.
No.
So we'll have 2 years removed.
2 years on, 2 years
to
off.
cleanse the palate of the Wizarding World.
Yes.
And maybe within the next year, throw in some goodwill, as it will be the 20th anniversary?
I think the 20th of the books has already passed. The 20th of movies will be next year, I want to say, or maybe...
Was that 2001?
You know what? Might be 01.
I think it's 21.
It might be, right,
yeah.
It might be 01. So maybe 2 more years.
So maybe they'll ramp up, saying 20 years. And do the Disney thing where they say it's the anniversary for 3 years, the year before, during, and after.
I refuse, by the way. I can't believe we're getting to the point where stuff from the 2000s is going to be turning 20 years old. I'm not ready for this.
We just celebrated the Matrix anniversary.
I know, but for some reason, 1999 seems still like that makes sense that's old. But 2000 onwards, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for the 20th anniversary of the GameCube.
Matt, I'm going to blow your mind here. 2030 is closer than 1999.
Lord. It's painful. It's painful. All right.
That is a true... Just think about that.
Yeah, it's true.
Paw.
That doesn't mean I have to like it.
No.
Moving on to things I do like. Nicolas Cage.
Hey, we all like Nicolas Cage.
Who doesn't like Nicolas Cage? He's just
I think
one of our treasures.
I think he could be
one of our
national treasures.
Cage, everyone knows, he loves wacky concepts. And this next one...
Well, yes, he's one of those, what would,
Yeah.
the most outlandish concept, just throw Nicolas Cage in it.
Just throw him in there.
So what is the new?
The new future hit that he might be involved in here. Wally's Wonderland. Cage will play a janitor forced to spend the night in a twisted amusement park, where he is pulled into a living nightmare as the threatening animatronic characters come to life. He has to fight his way from one monster to another to survive until morning and get out of the park. Kevin Lewis, who directed The Drop and The Third Nail, will direct Cage, noting that, quote, "For me, there was always one actor and one actor only who could make this movie work, and that actor is Nicolas Cage."
Now, this sounds very familiar to Five Nights at Freddy's.
A little bit. Mixed with, Night at the Museum.
Yeah, I wonder if this Wally's adventure is in any connection to Vacation and Wally World?
Probably not.
Probably not?
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, speaking of which, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is still stuck in development hell. Chris Columbus is still somehow attached to direct, and Blumhouse is doing a massive overhaul of the script. It could be even longer till we see that go into production. So yeah, maybe Nick Cage will beat him to the theater.
Yeah, and that update was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That they had to redo the script.
I mean, I feel like you missed a window for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
See, because that's what they said about the Angry Birds movie, and
they
yet
made two of those.
They made two of those.
I heard also today on a podcast that apparently there's still movie rights for Fruit Ninja
Okay.
that were optioned, and that movie is still being made.
And
I'm like, you definitely missed the window on Fruit Ninja, right? Like, that would be like making a movie about Flappy Bird.
Can you not?
I would love a movie about Flappy Bird. Don't get
It's
me
just
wrong.
a bird that's literally trying to learn to fly.
Yeah.
That's a short film.
Do it.
That is a short
Short.
film. Yeah.
Pitch that to Pixar.
I'm trying to
Disney
think of
Plus
a
stuff.
Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, Fruit Ninja. I don't know how you make that into a movie.
I think you just... I'd just be a regular ninja school, ninja academy, where where instead of like throwing random objects, they specifically throw fruit.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, no. It's a cooking school
Uh-huh.
where he becomes a ninja as he cuts up fruit
Yeah. Oh.
and vegetables.
Oh, here we go.
Stuff.
What if that's the setup, but then the twist is that the villain is secretly using like lab-grown pesticides in like a local farm, and the fruit comes to life, and then the ninja has to use his culinary skills, his ninja-like culinary skills, to become a real ninja and chop up the angry fruit that's attacking him.
But here's the thing, though.
Okay.
The chef
Yeah.
is not just an ordinary culinary chef.
Okay.
No, when he was young, he grew up in a ninja academy.
Uh-huh.
But when he left, he found his love of cooking, and that's why he went to cooking school.
Yes.
So he is a ninja.
Ninja. And this is all sponsored by Ninja Blenders.
I mean,
Okay,
that's,
all right.
the final boss right
Where's
there.
where's our meeting with Warner Brothers? How can we pitch
This is
this?
a Sony pitch. Where are you
A
at?
Sony pitch? All right. No. Whatever we just did is probably going to be way better than the actual Fruit Ninja movie. Okay.
Quick, write that down. Write that down.
Right down. Put it on a letter, seal it, mail it to ourselves. Nobody can steal it.
Well, we'll
Do not steal on it.
open up in 200 episodes.
Episode 400 will go. We finally made our Fruit Ninja movie. All right.
No, because by then Fruit Ninja will still not have come out. And we
Still
can
not
finally,
out.
We can finally pitch this.
Okay. That's it for movie news.
All right. Any last thoughts, real quick?
Any last time? Am I dying? What is there?
Any last
This
movie
is
thoughts?
something I don't. Oh, sorry. No more movie thoughts. Let's move on to television.
All right, let's move on to TV, and when we start TV...
Sports!
Oh, Sports Corner!
Sports Corner! Alright. The penultimate NASCAR race is this weekend. Ever? Or just this season?
Just this season.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been in the playoffs for a month now. But we are finally coming towards the end.
There are NASCAR playoffs
Yeah, we are finally coming towards the finish line
of NASCAR.
of the NASCAR
Like
season.
the metaphorical finish line.
And the literal
And literal
finish
checkered
line.
flags. Okay. So that will be sometime this weekend.
The penultimate is this weekend, which means the finals are next weekend.
The ultimate.
Yes, the
That's how it
ultimate.
works.
Yes.
Meanwhile, basketball. The Philadelphia 76ers. I was going to reverse it. I was going to go 67ers.
Yeah,
That's how it's
69ers.
Nice. Are the last team to go undefeated at 5-1, joining the Heat and Lakers as the only teams with one loss.
Yep, they're the last team to fall. Last year, was it last year or 2 years ago?
I don't know.
2 years ago, the Golden State Warriors went 22 games before they had their first loss, and only lost 3 games the entire year.
And this season they've lost every game.
Yeah, they lost every game this year.
Anyway.
But yeah, those 3 teams, the 76ers, the Heat, and the Lakers, are your current front runners as we are edging on double-digit games.
Oh, okay.
We are edging on the double-digit games. 10th game of the season.
Okay. Good to know. Other sports. Do you have any other sport tidbits? Anything about going
For those of you in
basketball?
fantasy,
Or, sorry,
for those of you in
football?
fantasy football, this is week 10 coming up. By apocalypse for most people, as 8 teams will be on bye.
Oh.
I don't know why the NFL does
I thought it
this
was
to
just
us.
when all the fantasy people, like, they go on dates with whoever they choose
By apocalypse?
by apocalypse,
Sure.
and it goes really badly, I guess, because of the apocalypse.
Yeah, where's the apocalypse part in that?
By apocalypse.
Yes. But yeah,
Okay.
make sure to set your lineups. Also, because it's week 10, for most standard leagues, this is the last week to do any trades. We also have 3 weeks left until fantasy playoffs. If you're making it, I'm not in one of my leagues, unfortunately. But,
Aw.
fortunately, I am in 2 other ones.
Hey, that's why you do multiple leagues.
Yeah, I don't put all my
Gotta
fantasy...
win one of them. Odds are.
Don't put all my fantasy in one
Yeah,
basket.
Definitely, I learned that the hard way. All right, that's it then for sports. Let's move right out of that into proper television news.
Quickly, in sports, MLB. The
Baseball.
awards are out.
Yes.
Or the award nominations are
Nominations
out.
happen.
But we will have the actual awards next week, as they'll be announced on Monday, I think. the
Rooting
11th.
for our man Mike Trout, as always.
Yep, and any Angels. Oh, speaking of Angels, apparently
Yes.
Cole Calhoun will return.
Oh,
Yeah. They won't sign him back for a year, so he's a free agent.
well, poop.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
No more Cole Calhoun.
Well, or Cole Calhoun. We'll
Nope.
see.
Nope.
We'll see. All right, moving on to television news.
Yes.
Our first story about our little colorful friend Peacock.
What'd you say?
Peacock.
Do we have to bleep that?
My peacock cock.
I think we have to bleep that. Where's the buzzer here? Are we on the 5-second delay?
We're an
Help,
explicit
help.
podcast. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Thank
Peacock
God. Woo!
is the name of NBC's upcoming streaming service. They, of course, put their hat in the ring alongside Disney, HBO, everyone else.
Warner's.
HBO is Warner.
HBO Max.
That is,
Warner's.
those are all the same thing. Stop saying variations on it.
CBS All Access.
CVS All Access.
Yes.
To give you long receipts.
It's how they let you into the premium club.
Yes. It's CBS All Access.
Yes.
But Peacock is going to try something a little different than the others. They are considering giving away the ad-supported version of their service for free
What?
to everyone.
Hold on. Time out.
Yeah,
What's our saying on this podcast?
it's a business.
This does not sound like a business plan.
Well, I mean, it does when you consider this is the ad-supported version.
I guess.
So traditional pay TV subscribers and Comcast customers, though, might get benefits from Peacock, but an ad-free service will come with a fee, of course. The new plan would be to give away the ad-supported streaming service to anyone who wants it, and an ad-free product would be also available for a charge, though there may be multiple tiers for those who are Comcast customers. The streaming service will include back episodes of shows owned by NBC and the like, including The Office and Cheers, as well as new originals that we have yet to see. So, this is smart. I think this is really reminiscent of the original Hulu model,
Yes.
which was like, hey, you know what? We're gonna have our stuff. People are gonna sit through the same ads over and over again and watch them, and you know what? That's fine with us. And the power users will pay us.
And you know who originally started that?
They did.
Yes, they did.
Because they were part of the conglomerate that started Hulu.
Yep.
So it's like, I think this is really smart because they're basically taking advantage of the anxiety that a lot of people have right now of how much money that they're going to blow on streaming services in the next couple of years. So this is basically NBC saying, no, we got you. Here's ours, and you don't even have to pay for it if you don't want to. You just have to watch some painless ads, and we'll give you all the cheers you want.
Now, I hope they keep the model or the advertising time down to 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the big thing.
Made that a thing, except there are still exceptions to that.
Yes, but I
yeah.
want to say, because I have Hulu, Simple Plan, whatever, Basic.
You have the band A Simple Plan.
No, I have Hulu Basic.
Oh.
But yes, they're also on that playlist.
Simple Plan.
That's on playlist. But yeah, I have Hulu Basic, and they've run the ads whenever I
basic,
watch.
I mean.
When I'm going back and watching episodes of This Is Us, which is an NBC show,
Yes.
and if it's anything like that model, I think this is good. This will definitely work.
I think it will be. I can't imagine that they blow it on the ad front.
I mean, they're already basically doing this with the NBC website where you can watch shows from the past week.
It's that. It's just that. That's
and
all this is.
That is, as long as they don't, like I said, go over the 2 minute, I want to say 2 minute mark, yeah. The 2 minute ad mark, then you'll keep people. Because as soon as you start doing 300 seconds, 600 seconds,
then it's just too much.
that's when it just becomes, like, unnecessarily stuffed in there.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But, hey, this is a good move.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Make it
I think
available.
this is smart.
Yep.
They're taking advantage of people being wary
Mm-hmm.
of how much this is going to cost. What else is happening in the streaming world is HBO Max keeps getting out there making deals, and their newest deal that they've made is with the continuing ever-evolving world of dramas on television based on DC Comics.
Well, if it's a drama based on DC comic, there's only one man for the job.
Greg Berlanti. He continues to add to his record-breaking TV series tally by setting 2 more DC Comics-inspired series at HBO Max. He will be taking a second try at the world of Green Lantern after previously penning the screenplay for the 2011 film we don't like talking about.
No one likes talking about it. I believe Ryan Reynolds shot himself for talking about it.
The second series is the anthology series Strange Adventure.
Ooh.
That will be an hour-long drama that explores close-ended morality tales about intersecting lives of mortals and superhumans. This makes Berlanti's HBO Max shows tally to 4, as those 2 shows will join his other producing shows, The Flight Attendant, starring Kaylee Cuoco, and the LGBTQ-themed documentary series Equal. All told, Berlanti now has 21 television series across 7 different platforms.
That guy's getting paid.
How does that man do it? Like, what is his day? Can you just imagine the just stack of scripts he's got to review? The just
You also imagine the
endless meetings.
the endless
that he has to
21
do?
teams that he runs that is in charge of.
And he has to meet with all of them, teleconference with all of them, I'm sure. Like, he's got to have people constantly revolving door at his office.
Okay, wait. I got this. Okay. There's 7 days a week.
Uh-huh.
I assume he doesn't take a day off.
I was going to say, there's 7 days a week. He's invented an 8th.
He's invented the 8th where he gets all his day off.
That's how he did it.
That's how he takes his day off.
Solved
Because
it.
7 days a week, he has to worry about 3 shows a day.
Yeah.
And each show's at least 3 hours. So that's 3, 6, 9. That's 9-hour days for 7 days a week. This man is clinically insane. Good thing he has all that money to go see a psych.
It's too much, man. It's too much. But I guess all power to you. Keep setting those records, Berlanti.
I mean, people will still watch these shows.
Watch 'em.
And it's that good. This is, if anything, this is good news for the Toronto, or is it Vancouver? Is it Vancouver or Toronto?
One of those Canadian.
Either Vancouver or Toronto film industry.
Yes, it is. All right. That's it for television news.
All right.
You watched a couple of televisions.
Yes, I did.
So last week you mentioned that you were almost done with The Righteous Gemstones on HBO.
Yes.
Now you are done with this debut season of the series. Tell me, how are your feelings about the series now that the season has wrapped up?
They're relatively the same as the first pilot episode, but I want to say I like the show even more as the season went on, because as it went on, it did delve into more of like the Christian side, like the preacher side, and how a lot of the shots,
televangelist side.
Yeah, but how a lot of it was intercut between what you're saying and what you're doing. Show, don't tell, but tell and then show. And it's really well done. Danny McBride has a clear hit on his hands here. I really hope they're able to bring back the entire cast for this because, they just melt so well. And you know how I don't like Adam Devine in pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But I like him in this.
Okay.
I like because they basically kick him down every episode.
Uh-huh.
But he's charming enough to fight back.
I was recently talking to somebody who didn't know who Adam Devine was, and I said, Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Don't
I
find
wish I
out.
was you.
Don't find out.
Then they'll show a picture like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, that guy's fun.
Yeah,
That's probably what they're going to go with.
I wasn't that clever. I think I probably did say something like, he's like, and I drew a blank on what he was in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, he's that guy. You recognize him if you saw
Because
him.
you don't want to say the Adam Devine show on Comedy Central, which no one watched.
But, like, he's just one of those guys where if you saw his face, you'd be like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, he's got just a punchable face.
Right. I mean, you don't want to bring up Jexy, I think.
Oh, God. No one does.
But, like, this whole cast works. It works well together. I love John Goodman as the powerhouse of the dad. It's really well done, really well made. It definitely hits on all the comedic points, and I'm looking forward to season 2. And did we say it had season 3?
I believe that it did get renewed for 2.
For 2,
So,
right.
yeah, I think
Okay,
you're right.
so
I
yeah.
think it's
We
coming
will
back.
definitely see more Righteous Gemstones.
HBO likes to do that with their renewals.
Yeah.
Then you also watched something that happened this last night, the previous night to the recording this podcast.
Yes, I watched Moana.
No, I'm talking about The Little Mermaid live on
Yes.
ABC.
Yes. So, like I was saying, I watched Moana.
No, I keep correcting you. It's The Little Mermaid live.
And let me correct you, as the Little Mermaid Live starred Lily Cravalho,
So,
a.k.a. Moana.
she can be in other things
Yes.
besides Moana.
She was in Rise.
Yeah.
You know, that show on
Show.
NBC.
Like two episodes or something.
It lasted a
Oh,
season.
season.
Yes. But yeah, Little Mermaid Live, starring Lily Cravalho, John Stamos, I want to say one of the One Direction kids, as
Kid.
Prince Eric, and then we realized, wow, I must be old because I don't know who this kid is.
Yeah, you're okay.
Also, isn't Prince Eric supposed to be older? And I guess not.
I mean, that's probably smart, so that way they keep them about the same age.
Well, because Ariel's 16.
It's less weird, yeah.
So yeah, it is supposed to be less weird.
Because it's never really clear how old Eric is in the film.
No, even though he has a strong jawline in the film. But this was not like your typical live performances
'Cause he
that
was,
of
like,
NBC or Fox.
Yeah, 'cause it was like interstitched with actual, just like straight up the movie.
Right. So because the NBC and Fox stuff were musicals, they did it like a live show production. This, however, was just the musical elements sung live.
Yeah.
So it was just like this ooey gooey mac and cheesy thing thrown together that weirdly worked.
It looks like it.
I mean, it showed, like, when it was just the film talking, it showed the film.
Yeah.
But as soon as it went to one of the musical numbers, then it cut to the live audience and, like, the whole production going on.
It's a neat idea.
It is very interesting how they were able to pull this off.
So more or less it worked?
More or less, it did indeed work. I was a little worried, like, well, is it just going to be the play? It says live, and then it was like, oh, wait, but there's also going to be elements of the film. It's like, you're just going to, like, cut back and forth, and we're just supposed to accept that it's just jumping from live action to cartoon. I was like, yeah, I accepted it. I accepted that's what was going on, and the commercial cuts were done very specifically to cut from, we're bringing you into the animated world, and now we're taking you back out into the live, and then we're going to cut. As we can, so that way we can reset you as an audience back into the animated and then into the live action. But
That's cool.
Lily Cravalho can sing.
Well, yeah, we knew that.
We knew that, but she hit those Jodie Benson notes.
Good.
Who? Jodie Benson was there.
I saw the very beginning of it, so I saw her do the kind of intro.
Yes, 30 years that film's been out. Oof.
Yeah, it was its 30th anniversary, I guess this was in timing for, so.
Yep.
Yeah, 89, that checks out.
89. Ugh. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're old. But
Anyway.
this was fun. I actually enjoyed it. it weirdly kept my attention. I kept wanting to like look away and do other stuff, but like it just kept pulling me back. It kept holding my attention, which is the sign of a good production when you're able to pull people's attention towards you. It was really well done, really good put on. I do think like the 2 added songs were a bit much, but overall I didn't mind them as much as I thought I would.
Good sign.
It's good. The production value was definitely good. Definitely well done on this. I kind of torn if I want to see more of this kind of thing or not. Because while I think they definitely have their hit on their hand here, I don't know how well that will translate to a lot of other stuff.
Right.
Or if they're just gonna say, "Well, we're doing it. And you're gonna watch it anyways because it's your favorite movies." Like, I guess so. But I see what they did with Little Mermaid. Even though they do have a Little Mermaid live-action film currently in production.
Yeah, but this is going to be so different.
It is definitely very different
from what this is.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Did you watch any other television?
Nothing worth noting.
I didn't.
No.
Did not either. So that means.
Yes. Well, no, I didn't watch it. But for those of you who are stuck on the Food Network, Holiday Baking Championship is back for Thanksgiving. I think they do Thanksgiving first, and then they do
the Christmas stuff.
Christmas stuff. But yeah, Holiday Baking Championships are currently going on.
Cool.
Yay!
All right, let's move on. Next up, cancellations and renewals.
You didn't watch anything?
I did not.
Okay.
First up in cancellations and renewals, Netflix is bringing back Another Life for Another Life, a.k.a. Season 2.
Another Life?
Another Life.
Not Second Life.
Lodge 49, meanwhile, on AMC, canceled after 2 seasons.
Okay, done.
Creep Show will get a 2nd season on Shudder. Ugh.
Ooh.
I shudder.
I felt that.
Pennyworth will get a 2nd season on Epix.
That is the Alfred Pennyworth.
Yes. The Eric Andre Show will get a 5th season on Adult Swim.
Do note here, even though it's getting a 5th season, it has not been on the air since 2015.
Yeah.
But they may or may not be doing a time skip, but it's just a 5th season because Eric Andre got kicked off of. Nothing didn't get kicked off of. All the other shows Eric Andre was on apparently weren't that successful. So he's going back.
Okay. The Great Christmas Light Fight. The Great Christmas Light Fight.
Yep.
We'll get an 8th season on APC.
Yes, it will. This is your holiday special. Cheap to make, easy to produce.
Yeah.
Put your Christmas lights up, and let's see who has the best one.
Okay. Pearson, canceled after 1 season on USA.
Yep. Don't know what this was. It is not related to the Pearsons of This Is Us, so don't be alarmed.
NBC has canceled The In-Between after 1 season.
They're getting out of the in-between.
Okay. And then, lastly, in cancellations and renewals, FX is bringing Mayans MC back for a 3rd season.
The MC, I believe, is Motorcycle Club?
Yes, because it's a spinoff of Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
All right, now moving to deaths. I guess we're making up for not having deaths for the last 2 weeks by having a bunch.
Not a bunch, but a bunch.
Gay Byrne, age 85, host of Late Late Show, Gay Byrne Show, classic television host.
Yep.
Brian Tarantina, age 60, actor, was in recently Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, as well as City by the Sea, One Life to Live, so a television actor.
Character actor, his background mostly, but had some bit parts.
Bernard Slade, age 89, a screenwriter, worked on Same Time Next Year, The Flying Nun, and The Partridge Family, so a television writer.
Television and, screenplay, yeah.
And then John Witherspoon, I saw this one, age 77, actor, most famous for Friday, but also Wayne's Brothers, Boondocks, the occasional television project. But beloved.
I'm sure this is one you've seen on your Twitter feed.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of people were really, really upset. He seemed like a real good one.
Yep.
Sad loss. All right, that's it for deaths.
Oh no.
I hand this over to you.
Okay.
It's time for Rebirth.
Whoa.
Music.
Okay, as we get into music, we get into the Billboard.
Let's get into the Billboard.
All right, we'll start Billboard with the singles chart, and the singles chart,
Yes.
the Hot 100.
Hottest 100.
And the new number one,
Yeah.
new single here, "Lose You to Love Me" by Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is her return after kind of being away for a while. This is a ballad, and a lot of people say that lyrically it seems to refer to her failed relationship with Justin Bieber
They broke up?
a long time ago.
Really?
Justin Bieber is currently married to Hailey Baldwin, now Hailey Bieber.
Wait, is that Haley Baldwin of the Baldwin family?
No, not related to those Baldwins.
Really?
Different Baldwin.
Different Baldwin?
Completely different Baldwin, I believe.
I don't want to believe you. There's so many Baldwins, it has to be related, right?
I don't think so, but yeah. Justin moved on, but yeah, Selena also seems to make claims that this is not about that situation, but seems like it might be.
With a title like "Lose You to Love Me,"
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot to wiggle
It's
room
basically the whole song is very much like Selena basically saying, "Hey, I needed to basically get you out of my life for me to appreciate myself." Is basically the theme of the song. It's fine. It's when I heard it, I was like, people like this, but it's like a kind of a boring ballad to me. It doesn't have a big hook.
there. You lost me at boring ballad.
Exactly. Let's move on to the rest of the top 5.
Well, the rest of the top 5. Number 2, "Someone You Loved" by Louis Capaldi.
Still there.
Number 3, "Circles" by Post Malone.
Still there.
Number 4, "Senorita" by Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello.
Always there.
And number 5, "Truth Hurts" by Lizzo.
Yep.
Just everything got
Everything
jumbled up
else just
once Selena
up.
Gomez made the top 5.
Yup.
As for Billboard 200, your albums chart,
Yes.
Kanye West is yet again at the top with "Jesus is King."
Yes.
We talked about this last week.
And it's not surprising, considering just like most people, even if they don't really care, they at least have the curiosity to put it on streaming for a couple times, and that's surely why this is number 1.
It's
Because
surely what got me to put
based
it
on
on.
curiosity alone, Kanye West can make a number 1 album still.
Mhm.
Just like people just want to know what it is.
Especially when you tell people that it's a gospel album. Like, what?
Yeah.
Kanye doing a gospel album?
What is this?
This has to be good. Like, it's one of those, like, hate listen things, but also listen for the extreme curiosity that is
Yeah.
not going to kill your cat, but just might.
Maybe. But yeah, this obviously had to be number 1 this week.
Right. Number 2, "Hollywood's Bleeding" by Post Malone.
Yep.
Number 3, "Pony" by Rex Orange County.
Yep.
Number 4, "Al Youngboy 2" by Youngboy Never Broke Again. And number 5, "Over It" by Summer Walker.
Do you think he's going to be broke again?
Probably after next week, because we got some good albums coming in.
What am I listening to this week?
I don't know what you're listening to this week, but here are the new releases.
Okay.
We have Moon Trip Radio with Clams Casino. By Clams Casino.
Yeah, remember I tell us
Yep.
the album names.
By Clams Casino. Although Moon Trip Radio could definitely be a
Could be a
album.
band name.
We also have Girl
Girl.
by Girl Ray.
Makes sense.
Sure. Okay. 2042 by Keeley. What You See Is What You Get by Luke Combs.
Okay.
Now,
So I get Luke Combs.
you get your Luke Combs.
Got it.
And lastly, Analog Fluids of Sonic Black Holes
Okay.
by Moor Mother.
Yeah, real slow release week this
That was a
week.
slow release week. I'll probably check out the Luke Combs album. I don't have high hopes for that thing.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Alright, moving on to music news. It's still a week when we have to announce a tour dates.
Yeah.
Well, except for someone who may or may not actually be on tour anymore. Something like that. Rage Against the Machine is in the news. Well, Coachella 2020 news, that is. As
Seems a little early, doesn't it?
Yeah, that seems early, but it's only right around the corner. And Coachella 2020 news is coming much sooner than expected this year. Specifically, It's coming via Rage Against the Machine, starting up an Instagram account, only to announce that they'll be reuniting for at least a short tour next year. Their first live appearance since 2011 will be in Indio, California.
Yeah, it's like, maybe they shouldn't have spoiled that a little
In April 10th and 17th. If you make an announcement for India, there's really only one thing for India.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is news because, a lot of people
I haven't seen them in a
are
while.
nostalgic for that band. And
Yep.
so, yeah, it would make sense for them to capitalize with a big reunion tour.
The Coachella appearance will be the capping of their quick tour for next year, with the other 3 dates listed as El Paso on March 26th, Las Cruces on March 28th, and Phoenix on March 30th.
All right.
So they're moving westward there.
So go Rage Against some Machines.
Or, just go to Coachella and just happen to come by Raging Machines.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't, because Coachella is a desert with nothing important ever happening there. Ever.
Or live there because it's beautiful.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Enjoy your non-ocean anywhere.
I will.
It's a desert area up there.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
All right. What else do we have?
Alright. Well, in other news, we have one of Media Boat's favorites here.
Yeah.
Grammy Award-winning Album of the Year award winner,
Yeah.
Casey Musgraves.
I'm conflicted about the story.
Well, Casey Musgraves has enlisted a starry lineup for her first holiday special,
Yeah.
and the first one to come out under the Amazon Prime Video banner. Titled The Casey Musgraves Christmas Show, is set to bow on the streaming service on November 29th. Artists who are scheduled to appear include Lana Del Rey, Camila Cabello, Troye Sivan, Zooey Deschanel, and Kendall Jenner, among other stars and guests that are announced for the show, which Musgraves calls a nostalgic, Wes Anderson-inspired reimagining of the holidays. So, expect a lot of pastel colors, some asymmetrical and very symmetrical cinematography, and lots of awkward running away. Maybe. Others lined up include Leon Bridges, Fred Armisen, Dan Levy, the Radio City Hall Rockettes. I think it's Music Hall, right?
Yeah.
The Radio City Music Hall Rockettes.
Yeah.
And James Corden.
Yeah.
Well, James Corden is there because he's also co-executive producer.
Makes sense.
Along with Ben Winston. Filled that role on this special, along with Emma Conway, Casey Musgraves, and her manager, Jason Owen.
So
it's a holiday special. What's there not to like?
Amazon, for one.
Oh, we're still on the bad Amazon train?
Yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating. It's like, of all the possible deals she could have made, like, she ends up with Amazon. It's just a kind of bad timing because currently, you might not be aware of this, you might be aware of this. There's currently an upswing of musicians that are signing a petition to basically pull any support from Amazon due to them financially supporting some maybe not so great elements of our government. I'll leave it there. I don't want to get too political. But yeah, and so it's interesting that this is coming kind of in the wake of that. And so reasonably, you have a lot of people that are like, man, Casey, like, she talks the talk a lot of the time, but she's not paying attention to these trends.
Yes, but also notice that in order to get all these people signed on to announce it, this is a deal that's been months in the making.
It had to be already a process for it.
Yeah.
And I realized that, but like, I don't know. I just wish this was on Netflix instead. That's all. Just like, it would just be a little easier to swallow.
Yeah,
the
but
good news
also
here,
I also mentioned this of Amazon putting up the money to do this, and not Casey doing it on herself,
right?
Trying to find a streaming platform to put this on.
Maybe not. Who knows? We don't know what the deal was.
Yes.
What I will say though is that the good news here is that there will also be a soundtrack to be released alongside the special. So if you don't want to watch it and give Amazon your time, you can instead listen to it, as I'm sure there will be CD versions to buy. I'm sure it will be on streaming platforms like Spotify.
Oh, I'm sure.
So yeah, there will be another option for you if you want to absorb this special in a different way.
Or if you want to take a nostalgia trip, Mariah Carey released a deluxe album of her Christmas, of Merry Christmas.
Right, yeah.
That got released this past weekend, so
it's
you
happening.
can
Christmas music. It's happening.
listen to Christmas music already, even though, Santa has not come down Main Street yet.
Give it
Or Broadway. Santa's not come down
weeks.
Broadway, so that's, as I say, when Santa comes down Broadway, you can blast all the Christmas music you'll want.
Just wait till then. I'm even more strict. I'm a December 1st person.
Oh, you're.
It has to be December 1st.
You're a 25 Days of Christmas person.
Oh, hell yeah.
No.
It has to be.
No, I want my football and turkey first before I get into the holiday spirit.
That's reasonable. It's a reasonable thing to want.
I got to ready myself by accepting that football is only 4 weeks left in the season.
Yeah.
And that fall is pretty much over by preparing myself for the long winter.
A long winter.
And it feels so long when the Christmas music is playing every time. Every day, 24/7, everywhere.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Is that it for that story?
That's it for that story. Casey Musgraves doing a Christmas special. This was hinted at earlier this year, as she said that she had a holiday thing in the works.
I had seen that she had mentioned that.
And this is what this is.
Yep.
But mainly assumed it was just going to be an album. But
yeah, that's what I thought too. But
surprise!
All right,
Christmas classics.
What do we got?
Well, we have some thoughts, and as I said, if you want to listen to Mariah Carey's "Merry Christmas" 20th anniversary deluxe, 25th anniversary deluxe, it's currently streaming.
Yeah.
Or you could listen to, a bunch of other music, including one Miranda Lambert.
So yeah, we talked about this in new releases last week, that a new Miranda Lambert album hit last week. We did not plan this, but we both listened to it.
Well, you told me you were going to listen to it.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to no matter what.
And I told you I was going to listen to it because it's Miranda Lambert and have some fans.
Well, I am happy to report that, in my opinion, I think this is the best record she's put out since Revolution in 2010, 2011?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a real highlight. I loved this thing.
It's weird you say that because I listened to this thing and, this is definitely Miranda Lambert album. It sounds 100% like her because it is her. This sounds like any of these songs could have come out at any time. But I think that may be a thing against it because for me, it did sound like these songs could have come out at any time.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily resonate to me as 2019 Miranda Lambert.
Well, you know how we were talking about, the country scene of people like Eric Church and people like him, which is basically written off radio completely.
Yes.
Basically, I'm just going to do whatever I want. I have a sound that I like making music in, and I don't care if it alienates some of my fan base, and I don't care if I never get radio play again. Miranda Lambert has been secretly doing this almost her entire career. Mm-hmm. She had one big hit, and then country radio, for the most part, kind of left her behind. And instead, what she's been doing is she's just been knocking out of the park with every single record. And that's, I think, like, the thing here is that, like, I don't know what 2019 Miranda Lambert means, because she's kind of put out the same thing. But that's not a bad thing.
Right, I know. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Unlike
Right.
Zach Brown Band, which I talked about, how they have an ever-evolving sound and will never settle on one thing. Miranda Lambert just does one thing, but she does it so well. She's the Mariano Rivera of country music.
She found a niche. She really did. She found, and it's interesting too because this is her first, obviously, in the wake of the earth-shattering golden hour. Like Casey Musgraves has now set a bar. Like, let's be real. Like, the bar is here now, and everybody now every record that comes out after that, unfortunately by a woman in country music, is going to be compared to it. I don't know if that's going to be fair. You know, obviously there's kind of an element of, you know, weird sexism there. But that being said, you can see some post effects of Golden Hour on this record. There's one song in particular that was produced in a manner that I could have imagined being on Casey's record. And, like, I forget the name of it. But like, I think that you do see some effects of that where Miranda even realizes, like, oh, okay, the quality bar has been raised a little bit. I have to really prove myself on this one. And that's why I think, like I said, I think this is her best effort in a while. Because last album, if you may recall, was a couple of years ago, and it was the Devil album she put out. And I remember when we talked about it on this podcast, I liked it, but because it was a double album, it was an exhausting thing to get through.
Wasn't that her breakup album as well?
Yes.
That's why, yeah.
It was exhausting for that reason, too. And this does not have the weight of that.
No.
And I think it benefits from it. I think it gives her a little bit more freedom to play around. It gets her the option to do some more fun songs. And there's a lot of fun songs on this thing. The highlights to me being one highlight to me being the duet she does with Mary Morris. Was it too pretty to go to jail or something like that?
Yes.
And it's real good. There's some really fun stuff on this thing.
Yeah, I really like how the album opens up with White Trash.
Yeah. It's probably the most traditional Miranda Lambert song on the record.
It is.
It's also my least favorite on the record. I liked everything else more. But it's because it's very much like...
Well, that's where I was going to go.
Country construction, where it's so on the nose with its metaphor. You're like, all right, this is the traditional country single. Right. This is the single. If there was a single, that's the single.
Right.
But, like, the rest of it is so much better.
Yeah, that's the thing. I put this album, again, I didn't realize I put it on shuffle.
Oh, you did it again.
I did it again. However, as I was listening to it, it just played through. I was like, this is a good song.
Yeah.
This is a good song. Mm-hmm. This is a good song. This is a good song.
Yeah.
This is a good song. This is a good song. And then it went so much that because on Spotify, which hit the end of the album, and it's on shuffle, it'll go to the radio play version.
Oh.
And so it started playing old Miranda hits. I was like, this is a good song. This is a good song. This is a good song.
She's never, I don't think she's ever put out a bad record.
No.
But yeah. But I think you do have a point, though, is like, it's very much like a thing. And if you don't like that thing, then you're not going to like this.
Right, which is why I love what she's doing, but at the same time,
she's not expanding her
audience. Well, I don't know do I want her to expand?
I don't know how she could, really. Like, yeah. I mean, I just can't imagine. That's the thing about Miranda. You can't imagine her being anybody but herself. Mm-hmm. And that's fine with me. You know, like, I'm fine if she just keeps putting out these solid records for the rest of her career.
Yeah, it's a good record. Still, Media Pope patented scale.
Oh, yeah, no. Definitely check this out.
Definitely check this out.
If you're a country fan, absolutely check this out.
Yep. This is a bona fide hit of an album. May even be on a end of the year list.
It won't make mine. This year's too crazy for me.
This year's too crazy
it's
for you?
not even going to be close.
Ooh.
My top 5 has already been established, I think.
Really?
I'm messing around with it. I'm trying to replace it right now. It's been deadly. Like, I thought last year was hard. This year might be harder.
Cutthroat 5?
Yeah, it's a Cutthroat 5.
Ooh, okay.
So, we'll see. We'll get there.
All right, we'll get there. But we have to get to the end of this podcast first.
Let's get to the end of video games.
All right, and we start with video games. We start with new releases.
What are the new releases this week?
I don't know what you're playing.
Yeah.
But here are the new releases.
Yay.
We have Disney Tsum Tsum Festival.
I love a Tsum Tsum Festival.
For the Switch. Jumanji. the video game, Jumanji, the video game.
Also seems like they missed the window, but well, who am I to judge?
For PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaires Conspiracy for the Switch.
Sure.
And lastly, Need for Speed Heat for the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
If you're wondering where this came from, it's because EA has buried this release.
Yes.
Nobody knew that this was coming out this week, basically, until today.
They announced it at E3,
And
but
everybody forgot.
no marketing for it whatsoever.
I don't know why, but what I hear is that it's just another middling open world Need for Speed game.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just nothing special.
Nothing special. Ooh.
Again, and they just keep doing it. And it's just like, who are these for? Who are buying these games?
People who have a need.
A need for what?
A need for mediocre racing games.
Hey! There we go. All right. But yeah, slow release week for video games as well. So pretty much slow release week for everything except for movies this week.
I thought Death Stranding was coming out this week.
Oh, sorry, yes. I didn't include it because it seems so obvious. But yes, Death Stranding is out.
I mean, yes.
That is the big release and everybody else got out of the way. You're right.
You're right, yes. Thank you for including it on the notes and not me remembering it.
Yeah, that's what I got. Death Stranding, as we kind of mentioned briefly earlier, divisive.
It is a walking game.
Incredibly divisive.
Or is it?
It's so fascinating, too. So I listened to like 5 different video game podcasts at this point, right? And within those 5 video game podcasts, I'm already seeing a wide array of opinions about this game. There's one site that nobody on the site likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were all pretty much in like unity, like just not digging it, not getting what it's trying to do. Another website, everybody loves it, and they're all talking about how great it is and how much meaning is in the connections between you and other players and what the things they leave behind in the world. And then there's like kind of some people in the middle, which is like, okay, the people who are saying that it's complex are kind of lying, but also it's not as bad as the people who hate it think. So it's like just a wide swath of opinions about this thing. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it even like trying it because I'm so confused.
I don't know. I've listened to 3 reviews on it.
Yeah.
The first one being that it's a lot of walking, and you just walk and walk and walk, and they wish something had happened, but they just walked and walked and walked.
Yeah.
I heard one that said it was super deep in the way Kojima kind of is, and that like no one on this planet would even no one would want to release this game if you pitched it, but because it's Kojima behind it, it got a release, and it weirdly has meta context to it. And the third one was somewhere in the middle of that, where it was, I get what he's going for, but it's not going to be for everyone.
And yeah, I think that's ultimately probably the ultimate take, is that it does seem like this thing's going to be really up some people's alley, and it's just not going to work for other people. Mm-hmm. And for everything that I've heard, I'm probably in the latter camp, not the former.
Right, and that's why I'm hesitant to sink myself into this, because I've heard that it is a 60-hour game, and I don't have the time for that this year.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to this later, but I finished Borderlands, I'm still in Outer Worlds, and Pokemon comes out next week, so it's like, where's time? Time, I don't have it.
Right.
It's gone. So we'll see.
But let's get into some news first before we get to your Borderlands.
I just wanted to kind of get our piece said about Death Stranding, since that's the big news this week, really. Mm-hmm. But there's actually other stuff happening.
Yes. There's stuff that's continuing to happen.
Yes.
Blizzard, or BlizzCon happened this past weekend, and too many people dressed up as this took place across from Disneyland at the Anaheim Convention Center. A lot of people decided to dress up in their favorite Disney character, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, a Winnie the Pooh was seen in the convention center, so somehow it got in.
Apparently, they had a Winnie the Pooh convention upstairs that they kind of just melded in between.
Weird how that works out.
Yeah, it's weird that they had scheduled something like that on the same day.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be.
Yeah, that's just poor planning on that.
In a completely unrelated note.
Yeah, in a completely unrelated note, Blizzard president J. Allen Brack opened BlizzCon 2019's keynote with a statement in response to the recent Hearthstone controversy.
Yeah.
Quote, Blizzard had the opportunity to bring the world together in a Hearthstone tournament. We did not. We moved too quickly in our decision making, and to make matters worse, we were too slow to talk with you. We didn't live up to the high standards we really set for ourselves. And second, we failed in our purpose. I'm sorry. And I accept accountability. Close quote.
So, the thing though here is that in a statement I guess he made in an interview later that day, is that he still stands by the company's decision, contrary to what he said in that apology, and that he doubled down on the fact that they said that it was the statement, not the content of the statement, that was the reason for the suspension.
That is interesting because in all of his apologies, right around here, you see these huge quotes here for apology?
Right.
Not once does he make mention to the players, the podcasters, or the specific controversy.
No.
This is a very general PR statement.
Very general.
There's nothing specific said that he has said that identifies why people are mad.
Yeah, it typifies the kind of like non-apologetic apology we're getting for this kind of thing pretty much across the board nowadays.
Yep.
So it's not surprising. It's just worth noting that at least they dedicated 15 minutes to at least kind of obliquely mention it.
Well, you know why they needed to apologize though, right? Because they have a shit ton of games coming out.
And that's the thing, is that they had to kind of sweep it under the rug quickly before all the big announcements to try to win back all the fans.
Right, they needed to make this announcement first, so that way, when they announced all these other games coming out, you weren't sitting there like, okay, cool, but where's the apology? It's like, we'll get your apology out of the way.
Yeah.
Now, please focus on spending money for us.
And spend money you will, because they announced a lot of stuff.
Yeah. They went on to announce Overwatch 2.
Yes.
Featuring the same multiplayer gameplay and a new co-op mode.
So what that basically means, to kind of be more specific.
Yes, co-op, isn't there no single player option?
So, basically it is single player, and I'm using quotes, because you can play it by yourself, but it is meant to be a co-op mode. Mm-hmm. It's a 4-player mode against robot AI. It's a player versus environment, PvE, as opposed to the traditional multiplayer PvP. So, it's basically offering a more story-driven experience. So you'll actually be in story moments with the characters of Overwatch that will bring more backstory to the overarching story of Overwatch. Is there a way to kind of give the fans more character and story, because that's what the fans have been asking for pretty much from day one with Overwatch.
Right, but they provided those in terms of cinematics and launch trailers.
But beyond that mode and some new skins, that's literally it for new content. Overwatch 2 will still have the multiplayer mode from Overwatch 1. That is not changing. And that's because they didn't want to divide the player base.
Are there new heroes, at least?
No.
Same heroes.
At least not confirmed yet. The same heroes. No confirmed new heroes, at least as of this recording. I wouldn't be surprised if down the line they did, but keep in mind, anything they do, they don't want to divide the player base. So anything they do has to be aesthetic for multiplayer. They can't introduce a new hero in just 2. They would have to introduce it for 1 and 2. Because that's what they're saying. They do not want to change the multiplayer mode.
Oof.
The only thing new here, and that's why a lot of people are making the argument that calling it Overwatch 2 is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Because
it's just Overwatch DLC.
Is the only real big new content.
Yeah, it's just Overwatch story DLC.
Everything else will be available in some way in Overwatch 1 with updates and patches, except for the PvE stuff. So, yeah. Chances are, though, that this will not be a full-priced game. I really doubt they would try to put this thing out for $60. But, hey, Blizzard will try, I'm sure.
Yeah, they'll definitely try because money.
Because money.
Yep. But speaking of money, they also announced a grittier and bloodier Diablo 4.
Yeah, almost as a reaction to Diablo 3's reaction. If you remember way back when that was announced.
Yes, this was at the beginning of the PS4 cycle.
It was right before. It was like kind of towards the end of the PS3 generation.
Right, but the Diablo 3 coming to consoles was a big deal.
It was a big deal, but even before that, when it was announced for PC, people freaked out. At least hardcore Diablo fans did, because they were like, "Oh, it's too colorful. It's too you guys aren't. It's not as bloody and violent." And so this still is probably eating on some people at Blizzard's brains, and so they're finally just like, "All right, fine. We'll give you this really gritty Diablo you want." And I don't know if that's a great idea, but it's still Diablo, and so it'll still probably be great. And I'm still interested to see how it works out, because people love Diablo.
Yeah, they definitely do. They also announced new expansions for World of Warcraft and Hearthstone, but these are your typical yearly updates.
Yeah, no surprises there, really. It's the hardcore will enjoy the updates.
Overall, you had someone go to BlizzCon.
I did. I didn't get a lot of feedback from them directly. It seemed like it was just the announcements were the big part, so it's like we just lived it right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, then let's continue on.
Let's continue on to our second story.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, so slow news week, which means we got a sales number story.
Yes, we do. As Call of Duty, Modern Warfare has sold extremely well at launch, even by Call of Duty standards. Activision, in an attempt to pump up their numbers, announced that its first 3 days on the market were the best for any game in the series this console generation. And it has also become the top-selling new game release of 2019. Activision also boasted that it has already brought in more than $600 million in worldwide sales through and topped PS4 digital pre-orders and 3-day digital sale records, which is a serious win for the company. It also beat the company's internal digital sales record, as well as its records for biggest Call of Duty launch on PC. The company does note that this is counting both retail and digital sales units, including sales of the Charity Defender Pack. Sales of that DLC will go on to benefit the Call of Duty endowment.
So yeah, this is not super surprising, considering that
it's a Call of Duty game.
The reason why they rebooted the Modern Warfare name was to get people talking about Call of Duty again. Because yeah, this generation hasn't been stellar for it. I mean, we saw some excitement over Black Ops 4 last year, but it was diminishing returns really this entire generation. I mean, think about it. Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare,
World War II,
they've all been kind of base hits, not home runs,
Well, when they started applying more and more loot boxes into it,
right,
and going away more and more from a story perspective, right, people kind of got fed up with what they were doing.
Black Ops 4 literally last year didn't even have a campaign. So yeah, it's I think that maybe this is kind of the success of this is kind of self-fulfilling prophecy almost. Because they knew that if they put the name Modern Warfare on a game again, that the fans would return. And they did.
You slap Modern Warfare on it, you give it a single-player campaign, and people will buy it.
And also, I hear that it's a good one this year. That's the other part of it, is that the quality went up again.
Good word of mouth.
And so yeah, you have the word of mouth on it for sure, where people are saying Call of Duty is good again. So yeah.
Also, a lot of the story elements are taken from real-world events as well. Things that have happened literally within the past 15 years. So, maybe 10 years, actually. Since Modern Warfare came out.
Right.
Actually, I want to say since Modern Warfare Kicks. That was 2007.
2007.
Seven. So, yeah, 10 years of...
12 years now.
12 years of story development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever, like, it's interesting, to basically see, but it's super not surprising.
I might Redbox this for a
I
weekend.
want to try it, but, like, it's just so
Just for
hard.
the story, though. Because I played the 2v2 alpha.
Right.
And I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to buy it because
You know
I'm
what
not
that
going to
is,
play
yeah.
it.
It's
Yeah.
like you've been there, done
No, I
that.
want to do it for the story mode.
Yeah, it's interesting. I almost just want to try some classic old multiplayer, but, like,
Yeah, maybe we'll invite
price
you
is
over.
just
Have a
not-
good day.
Maybe.
Have a Call of Duty day.
Call it a duty day.
A duty day.
Duty day.
Yep.
That's it, though, for video game news.
All right, that brings us to thoughts. And you
I did it.
finally,
I finally did it.
you completed Borderlands 3.
If you told me that out of the two of us that I would be the first one to finish Borderlands, I would have said you were crazy, and yet that's what happened.
Yes, I had other things happen in my
Yes,
life that
you're
takes
busy.
priority.
But yeah, I finished that game. And there wasn't a whole lot more from where I left off. There's it was a chunk, but it wasn't a huge chunk in Borderlands standards. Also, I did some side quests once I got to the final kind of area too, so I was kind of taking my time.
Okay.
But ultimately, it still seemed a little underwhelming. The final boss was also kind of easy. And it's just, I don't know how many times you can just for a series that's known for having real stupid bosses, especially at the end of the game, I kept expecting there to be a Chromerax, and there's never a Chromerax. I just kept expecting, okay, where's the boss that I'm going to have to glitch something out in order to beat?
Yeah.
And that's not in this game, at least not in the main quest line. So yeah, I got to that. The credits rolled. There's a big story event that happens at the very end of the game, and a very on-the-nose song that plays in the credits in reaction to it. I just need you to see it because it's the stupidest thing.
Well,
It
you told me it's not the never-ending story song.
No, it's not.
Okay, because that's what this game feels like to me.
It is basically that because, and I told you this before we started recording, it is seriously the never-ending game because somehow I ended up starting it over again once I finished it because
New Game Plus.
Because I'm crazy.
New Game Plus, right?
Yeah, I which is true Vault Hunter mode in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's the classic New Game Plus where it's in Borderlands where it picks up with everything that you already had, all of your perks, your level is intact, and it just scales up all the enemies to where you're at. So basically, you're doing the first mission again, but everybody's level 45.
Right.
So yeah, it's good, I guess, if you want to continue on. And then there is some post-game content in there. There's the skill medallions that you start earning, which is a separate experience meter, essentially.
Okay.
Where even after you hit the level cap of 50, these still grow. And then you can keep getting, adding on to skills just like you did in Borderlands 2. Except this time, there are even more, additional perks that you unlock by unlocking those percentage skills. So, for example, if I put enough points into shield recovery or max health and stuff like that, I will get either special skins or special abilities like the one I mentioned earlier, which was the ability to aim down sights while in down but not out mode. So it's
survival mode.
Constantly introducing new things, which is crucial because there are some really tough extra challenges that are in the side missions in this game. There's a Mad Moxie style arena that you can find where it's just round after round, wave after wave of enemies. Except this one you actually earn XP from.
Yay!
Which is not the case before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun, but it's hard. It's a real good challenge. So it gives you something at least to aspire to and a reason to get your skills up to the maximum you can. So there's a lot more in this game after you beat it, and it just never ends. I'm a little not as sour on it as I was the last couple weeks. I think once I returned to it and once I had some closure with it, I have now accepted it and moved on a little bit from where I was. It's still not even close to being the best Borderlands game, nor is it my favorite Borderlands game.
You're still on one?
I still love 1. It's still got a special place in my heart. But if you want Borderlands, this is that. And so, like, it's going to be a lot of people's favorite game this year. Not going to be mine, but it's definitely going to be exactly what people want it to be. So, yeah, I mean, overall, if I was to review it, I'd probably give it around like a 7 if on a 10-point scale, or like a 3 on a 5-point scale.
Cool, but we don't
like,
do that kind of scale.
I know, but the media vote scale doesn't really apply here, though, because, like, if you wanted this game, you've bought it already.
Yeah.
And you're already playing it. So there's nothing that I can say that'll change your mind. So, yeah, it's Borderlands.
Okay.
Other than that, I kind of haven't been playing much. I need to jump back into Outer Worlds. Pokemon comes out next week. I will be playing that. And then I will be getting an iPhone in the next couple days, which means I will be able to play a lot more of the Apple Arcade stuff that I haven't been able to play on my computer. So I'll have continuing updates about the wonderful world of Apple Arcade on this podcast.
Yay.
So, yeah. Look forward to it.
All right. I've been playing a mobile game because I have Google Play Pass.
Okay.
The game that kept being bombarded me with messages till I finally gave in and said, okay, fine, I'll try you out.
Okay.
Was Game Dev Tycoon.
Oh, Game Dev Tycoon. I've heard of this.
Yes. You start as a developer for starting with basic 2D games and script-based games, or text-based games. And you slowly put out new games and go through the motions of trying out what works, going to conventions, buying booths at conventions, upgrading yourself, upgrading your skills of what you can develop, creating new game engines, hiring staff, making sure the staff is happy.
All the elements of running a studio.
Yeah. Make sure staff goes on vacation, stuff like that. Make sure they're not overworked. I played this pretty non-stop until I beat it.
Wow.
Because when I eventually went bankrupt multiple times, it stopped you and said, hey, you went bankrupt. You're going to have to start the whole level over. And I was like, okay, I know what I did wrong. I know what I have to prioritize now. And I just went back and just redid it again.
Did you get Game of the Year at the end?
I eventually kept failing. No. The end game is, after 35 years in the business, it gave me a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it started from basic PC and all the way up to current PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
That's fun.
And even a swap, a.k.a. the Switch.
Yeah, swap.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Because you can't use actual names.
Right.
But it was definitely fun and definitely challenging. Every time I was able to figure out, oh, this works and people like this game, and all of a sudden now I go from scrounging around at the $10,000 mark to $1 million. Like, oh, wow, this is the actual hit. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Trends change, man. Keep up with the times.
Oh, I try. Eventually I got to the point where I just throw it in the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, Tomb Raider's only going to work for 3 years. You're going to have to do something else.
Well, it's not even that, because when you develop a new engine,
yeah.
And you develop a new game, not all the engine pieces work or not work. You'll overclock the engine, so it'll only run at 80% of the time.
It's like the exact problem that EA is having with Frostbite right now.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Art imitates life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sounds fun.
It's definitely a fun game. Like I said, I was able to eventually beat it and have a full working staff in 35 years and release my superhero MMO.
You're bringing back City of Heroes. That's very nice of you.
Basically, that's what I did.
Very gallant.
It was an action sim game. No, an action RPG MMO.
Yeah, you're bringing back City of Heroes. Well, somebody had to.
Someone had to. And it got me to the $500 million mark.
Oh.
At which point it then triggered the end game of, hey, you received a Lifetime Achievement Award. And you can continue playing after it, which I did. And I immediately lost all that money
Oh no.
trying to develop my own
Death
hardware.
Stranding.
My own
Oh,
hardware.
you tried to be a hardware manufacturer.
Yeah.
That's a stupid idea.
I tried. I upped one of my employees to a hardware major, or to a hardware dev,
Yeah.
and just tried to make my own hardware out of it, and it just kept sinking my money into it, not really paying attention to the games I was putting out, and because the MMO never goes away. And so eventually my MMO just started eating all my costs, as well as the dev eating all my costs.
Oh, no.
And next thing I knew, I went from 500 million down to like 60 million. It's like, oh shit, pull everything, panic mode.
Flew too close to the sun.
Well, I eventually did go over and burned out my game, but
Your Icarus game.
hey, it's definitely a fun game. Definitely fun insight into video game making, because it is partially a history lesson
Yeah.
of all the game consoles that have come before it, and like the trial and error of video game companies.
That's cool.
So it's a fun game. It was free on Google Play Pass. Definitely fun, worth checking out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And we are over our time here, so let's wrap this up.
Actually, we were a pretty tight show today, all things considered.
I know, but we're an hour 30 right now, and we have yet to mention that this is our 200th episode.
We mentioned it at the top. What are you talking about?
Oh, well,
thank you.
What started at the beginning shall now end us, as we mention it yet again.
Thank you for joining us for this 200th episode of the Media Boat Podcast. If you are watching live, you know this, but if you weren't watching live, join us live on YouTube.com. Next week, we will not be live.
What?
I warned you, but you probably forgot. Next week, next Wednesday, will be a solo show by you, because I will be gone.
What?
I will be in Santa Ana. I will be seeing Slater Kenny.
Wait, is that next weekend?
That is next week.
That came up fast.
That came up fast, didn't it?
Wow.
So yeah, that is Wednesday. So yeah, we will not be live next week, but we will be live the following week.
I may or may not be
Maybe.
alive.
We'll see.
We'll
But
see.
yeah, when we are live, though, you can find us on YouTube.
Well, no, because the following week you're doing a solo cast.
Oh yeah, right. So we will not be live 2 weeks.
Okay, so we won't be live, but we will have podcasts up.
We'll figure something out.
Yes.
For you, I believe, and there'll be an extra question too the week after that, because that'll be the day before Thanksgiving. So we really have to think about this. But anyway,
Yeah. Or we just like call it here and just say we hit 200.
No, we said every week, damn it.
We said every
We
week.
said every week.
All right.
All right.
Damn you, habits.
We can just maybe get a bunch in the can. I don't know.
Yeah, we probably could do that.
So you can catch us when we do eventually go live again, probably in December, on YouTube.com. Just search Media Boat Podcast and find our channel there. Like, subscribe, click the bell, get notifications when we go live. If you want to hear the audio version, we're also available in that way. Podcast form. Go to Apple Podcasts and look up Media Boat Podcast. Find us there. You can also find us on most RSS feed-driven services. Just type us in and you'll grab our back catalog as well as upcoming episodes. You can also see us play video games on twitch.tv/MediaBoat every once in a while there.
Yep, got some Tig Bitties going on there.
Bitties, Borderlands continues, and
Yep.
everything else. You can also find us on social media. On Twitter, we're at MediaBoatCast. On Facebook, search MediaBoat Podcast. Find our page, like and comment there as well. And then, of course, we're on Patreon. Patreon.com/MediaBoat is where you can go to help us out with money. It does cost money. By the way, I got an email about payment information regarding our hosting account. So
That's probably for me because
take a look.
it's November.
So yeah, if you want to help us support the show, please consider donating on patreon.com/MediaBoat. As low as $1 a month can still help us out. So consider even that low price will help us out. So please consider donating. And then last but not least, if you want to ask us any questions, give us any recommendations, just feedback, anything at all, you can email us at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. And that will be it.
That will wrap us up here
For
for
200
episodes.
I've done this 200 times.
We've done this more than 200 times, but we have
Yeah.
put episodes out on a weekly basis for 200 straight weeks.
200 straight weeks. Can you believe it?
Let's see. We've done solo casts. We've done cross-country casts. We've done double continents casts. Those are fun times.
Oh, yeah. So, catch us for a couple of weeks of recorded podcasts for you. We will not be live, but thank you anyway for joining us on this live show. We will be back in podcast form, so stay tuned next week.
Yep, next week I'll do a solo cast and then throw it over to Matt for a solo cast.
So
and we'll figure out Thanksgiving weekend when it comes.
Figure it out. All right, bye.
All right, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All the streaming YouTube people. Bye-bye.